As the sun gradually descended behind the distant mountains, casting a blood-red hue over the sky, the residents of the small village of Hazelwood hastily retreated to their homes, their hearts pounding with fear. They knew that with the arrival of nightfall, the vampire lord Dracula would awaken from his centuries-long slumber and begin his merciless hunt for his next victim. In the middle of the night, a young woman named Sarah awoke to the sound of faint scratching at her bedroom window. She tried to dismiss it as a figment of her imagination, but the scratching persisted, gradually growing louder and more incessant. Suddenly, she heard a voice, hoarse and sibilant, whispering her name from beyond the glass pane. Her heart racing with dread, she tiptoed towards the window, her hand quivering as she lifted the latch. As she opened the window, a frigid gust of wind billowed into her room, sending shivers down her spine. Without warning, a pair of icy, bony hands seized her by the neck, their grip as cold as death. She tried to scream, but a leather-gloved hand smothered her mouth, stifling her cries. In the flickering shadows of the moonlit room, she saw a pair of glowing crimson eyes, glowing with malevolent hunger. With a swift, fluid motion, the vampire lord sank his razor-sharp fangs into her flesh, puncturing her jugular vein. The taste of her warm, coppery blood sent shivers of ecstasy down his spine, his fangs clamping down harder and harder, drinking in her life force until she grew limp and pale as a ghost. The following morning, the villagers stumbled upon Sarah's lifeless body lying sprawled on the ground outside her window, her skin ashen and cold, her veins drained of blood. They knew that the vampire lord had returned to their village, and they feared that they would be his next prey. With no other options, the villagers banded together to form a plan to defeat the vampire lord. They scoured ancient texts, seeking the secrets of the vampire's weakness, and enlisted the aid of a wise old sage who had once battled Dracula himself. Armed with stakes of sharpened hawthorn and vials of holy water, they set out towards the vampire's hidden lair, their hearts heavy with apprehension. As they crept through the labyrinthine tunnels of the vampire's fortress, they heard the distant whispers of bats and the low hiss of snakes, the air thick with the scent of decaying flesh and sulfur. Suddenly, they saw the vampire lord, his gaunt frame clad in a tattered cloak of midnight black, his eyes glittering with an otherworldly fury. With a chilling snarl, he pounced on them, his claws slicing through the air with lethal precision. The villagers fought back with all their might, their weapons flashing like silver lightning, their voices ringing out with fierce battle cries. For hours, they clashed in a deadly dance of steel and fang, their flesh torn and their blood spilled, until at last, with a final, agonized scream, the vampire lord was vanquished, his body crumbling to dust in the sunlight. As they returned to their village, the villagers felt a mix of relief and sorrow, knowing that they would never forget the horrors they had faced, nor the sacrifices they had made to ensure their survival. They vowed to always be vigilant against the darkness that lurked in the shadows, and to never forget the terror of the blood-curdling curse of the vampire lord Dracula. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.